Vamp. The movie opens up with the tolling of a bell, and then we see our two main characters. It looks like they're about to be executed by fucking hanging.
Welcome to your worst nightmare.
Turns out to be some kind of like college frat boy hazing to get into this asinine frat. But our two main characters here aren't really feeling it anymore.
Now, instead of making us go through all these stupid, immature, what's the word I'm looking for? Asinine tests, which, by the way, we find incredibly boring.
Alright, so I guess I'll go ahead and introduce our two main characters here. Keith, played by Chris Makepeace, and then AJ, played by Robert Russler. Instead of hanging themselves like idiots, AJ here proposes that they get a stripper to bring to their party later on, and if they can pull it off, they're in the frat.
A stripper, and by tonight. This is great. I can't wait to see you get us out of this one.
The guys call around, and they have no luck whatsoever.
I know you're a dancer, professional trainer, and I was just thinking how interesting it would be to do with your clothes off.
Then AJ decides that they gotta hit the road and go hire a real stripper. You know, there's nothing like the real thing. The only thing is, they don't have any wheels.
Now all we need are some wheels. Duncan.
And this is where we meet Long Duck Dong, ladies and gentlemen. Duncan. Sorry.
Hey, guys, hey, where are you going? Hey, I ordered some pizza.
And right away, you can see that, he doesn't really have very many friends, so it's not like he's got any fucking thing else to do. I mean, he's down for them to take the car, but under one very nerdy condition.
Take me with you and just pretend to be my friends for a week.
So their destination is the After Dark Club.
The After Dark Club, hottest acts anywhere.
It's starting to get dark, and they stop at a local diner to try to find some directions to figure out where the joint is.
Guy says it's just down the street. The ad says the club won't open until after dark.
That's when the diner owner notices that it's about to be fucking after dark. It's time to get the fuck out of there. And right as he's about to close down shop and leave, he gets some last-minute customers.
Again.
So as the diner guy awkwardly serves up 6 coffees to go, one of the chicks that's with one of the rude fuckers starts giving Keith the eye, but then she gives him a smile that he'll never forget. Woof! This is where Count Wacula turns around and he notices the 2 college students snickering in the corner. And then he goes over there to tell him just how not cool that shit is.
You see something funny?
He then tells the bad bitch Maven to castrate old Keith here.
Cut one of your balls off.
Looks like it'll be another hour or so on these toilets. These pipes are tough. So if you excuse me, I'll get back to work.
When all looks hopeless, AJ stands up and splashes Tooth Woman in the face with some fucking hot coffee or something. And then, for some reason, he grabs a hold of Wacula's balls. Why does this movie have such a fixation for balls? What the fuck is going on here? After all the vigorous ball grabbing, it's back to the task at hand.
Hey, messing with my buddies, huh? Wham! Right in the tchotchkes.
They finally arrive at the After Dark Club, and their search is on to find the perfect stripper.
I'm in the mood for love, simply because they're naked.
But they'll soon find out that this place isn't as sexy as they fucking thought. So, the dudes are just chilling in the strip club when one of the waitresses comes up and she remembers Keith from somewhere.
A long time, but I remember you.
Remember her, folks. She's gonna come into play later on.
You don't remember that? I'm gonna remember that for the rest of my life.
And this is where the boys meet Katrina, played by Grace Jones. She's got this very eerie, spooky sort of aura about her. And something is definitely not right about this chick. So after Katrina's mesmerizing, almost trance-like dance, AJ goes to the back rooms to get a private sesh.
Yes! He scores!
But he soon finds out that he's actually on the fucking menu. So after Katrina takes a bite out of AJ, we get this super gross scene where Keith notices this guy in the bathroom that has a bunch of sores and scabs all over his back. Gross. And then we get another really fucking disgusting scene right here, right after that.
Come here.
Did he just eat a fucking roach? What the fuck? So after eating a roach himself, thinking it was probably a fucking peanut or something, Keith decides that it's time to get the fuck out of here. Now it's time to get out of here.
We're out of here.
Keith catches up with the waitress instead of getting the fuck out of there like they should. This is where we see one of Katrina's henchmen, I guess, warning her that AJ wasn't alone and that he has two other friends and they can't just let him fucking leave. So now the plans have changed. Instead of finding a stripper, the goal is now to find AJ because Keith has no idea that he was literally murdered in one of the back rooms.
I'm afraid AJ's decided to hold auditions.
No, he wouldn't just leave.
Oh, really? Not even with a girl that will melt in your mouth and in your hands?
Yeah, he'd leave.
So they kind of just head out and leave Duncan there, but he doesn't give a damn. Fucking titties. Yee! And then we see mysterious scab man dragging a body-shaped bag off somewhere. Pretty much immediately after he comes out from behind the dumpster, it's gone. What the fuck is going on here? And then jump scare.
Are we jumpy tonight?
At least this movie's not riddled with those. We then get this brutal scene here where Katrina rips out her henchwoman's heart for getting her into all this shit with these fucking college kids.
Fatality.
So Keith and his mystery woman get a room at a local motel, and their room is on the 13th floor. But it stops on the 12th floor, and Keith gets out on accident, I guess, and they realize that it's the 12th floor and the door shuts, leaving him stranded on the 12th floor. He goes down the hall, and he hears some shouting, I guess trying to find a way up to the 13th floor, when the elevator door mysteriously opens up and there's no one inside. Alright, what's going on here? And then Keith gets jammed up in the fucking door. Well, this is inconvenient. Right before he's about to be cut the fuck in half by the elevator, he wedges a fire extinguisher in the doorway because of plot armor barely escapes. This is where we also figure out that the club dudes and all those guys are all vampires as well, basically. I mean, if you haven't guessed by now. We then cut back to the club to check on Duncan. And he is drunker than a motherfucking skunk in a goddamn trunk.
What time do you get off?
2:30.
Can I watch?
Keith then runs smack dab into Snowball and company. And Snowball's here to teach him just how much he doesn't appreciate them fucking with his balls.
Hey, Snowball. How they hanging?
They basically find him hiding in the sewer and trap his dumbass down there.
Gotcha now.
Well, you're in a fucking situation now, Keith. And you're sitting there watching the movie thinking, God, these dudes did all this fucking shit for a fraternity, huh?
All this for a fucking fraternity.
And then we see the iconic silver screen actor, Simi Bao. You might know him as the Lost Souls Room guy from Beetlejuice.
That's the Lost Souls Room. A room for ghosts that have been exorcised.
Yeah, it's him. After a very Warriors-esque like foot pursuit,
Shit!
Keith takes refuge in a nearby dumpster. And this is where he finds out what became of his old buddy AJ.
AJ! Jesus!
Keith returns back to the club to inform Duncan of AJ's dumpster demise.
AJ's dead.
He's so fucking drunk.
She's so drunk.
Keith is in the shitter because that's where the plot demands him to be when he gets a knock on the crapper door from an old friend.
There's somebody in.
AJ plays it off like it was some big fucking joke when he literally just saw his friend's corpse in a fucking dumpster. Stone cold dead as fuck.
Relax, will you? It was just a joke.
I thought you.
He's fed up with it all and just wants to get the fuck out of here.
We're out of here.
You.
That's just not gonna happen. Strippers then goes into full vampire mode and starts knocking them both the fuck around. And then in a desperate act, Keith picks up a shoe and impales that bitch with the fucking heel. Now that was pretty brutal. This is when AJ reveals the truth.
The club, everyone here, man, they're vampires. Can't let you leave.
But the thing is, AJ really doesn't want to be a vampire and live forever.
Hey, you think I like this? For them? They're boring creeps. They don't call them Walking Dead for nothing.
He literally has Keith stab him in the chest with a fucking stake.
Just take me out.
It's pretty fucked up. They go to grab Duncan and head out when they get cornered by a bunch of vamps. Then the club manager steps in to tell them that they can't just leave, and basically explains their service to society.
I run an essential service here. Waste disposal.
And the club manager also lets Keith in on another secret.
Where you going? What are you trying to do? Get out of here? Why? There's more of us out there. Oh, yeah. We're everywhere.
When it seems like there's no way out, Keith comes up with a plan. He literally turns the place into a towering fucking inferno, setting this fucking club on fire. Literally.
Come on. Trapdoor.
Now with the club burning to the fucking ground, it's time to make their escape.
This way.
So after an intense crash involving two giant trucks, Keith and friends are making their getaway in a car when all of a sudden Long Duck Dong, or I'm sorry, Duncan, exclaims about how he's hungry and it's not for burgers and fries. So now with Duncan in full vampire mode, he tries to get Keith and the mystery girl or whatever, and it causes the car to crash. And because this is a fucking movie, of course, the car fucking blows up. They then break into the local gun shop and properly equip themselves. Keith finds a bow and arrow, and now it's time to show off his archery skills.
After the time I had in mind, I thought maybe.
After they leave the gun shop, they see a bus pulling up and decide to catch a ride.
Last stop. I don't need this.
And then before they know it, they're encircled by the entire vampire fucking population of the town. Well, everybody except for Snowball and the gang, who conveniently show up on the scene because of the plot. They also get turned into vampires.
Gang is this?
So right as they're about to make their escape down into the sewers, for some reason they're gonna go back into the sewers, Allison decides now is the time to tell him her fucking name.
My name. I'm Allison. Allison Hicks, remember? Seaside Heights.
It's like, can't this shit wait? Jesus! They trek further and deeper into the sewer labyrinth. When they go through a doorway that descends down some steps, they see a bunch of coffins down there.
I think we should leave.
This is not a very good idea.
But before they know it, all the occupants of all the coffins are returning home, and they're looking forward to getting some good quality shut-eye. But before the undead blood-sucking freaks could get halfway out of their graves, Keith sets this bitch on fire too, burning them all. Fuck yeah. Now, with the army of the undead burnt to a fucking crisp, that leaves only one left. Katrina, the queen vampire. She's got Allison by the fucking throat, and she's about to bite her. Keith pulls out that fucking bow and arrow and puts one right through her fucking mouth. Fuck yeah, suck on that, you blood-sucking freak. After she takes one to her fucking mouth hole, Allison puts a metal pipe right through her fucking heart. But that's not gonna be enough to take out this fucking vampire bitch. She literally pulls the pipe out of her chest like it's fucking nothing and just laughs at him. And he notices that there's a hole in the ceiling and there's sunlight coming through. He pulls a Fright Night and he opens this bitch up for business. Sunlight then fills the room and burns that wicked evil vampire bitch the fuck down. Right as they're going to climb out of the sewer, creepy scab guy from earlier drags Allison back down into the sewer for one final stab.
You both must die!
So I guess he's the final vampire?
Formica. Go figure.
Definitely a classic little horror film.
This has been one wacky night.
You're telling me? I'm gonna need some new clothes here.
I highly recommend this movie. If you're a fan of vampire flicks like The Lost Boys or Fright Night, like those 80s vampire movies or just vampires in general, you'll definitely want to sink your teeth into this movie. The special effects are great. It has a lot of really awesome makeup effects, like the vampires look fucking awesome, even down to their eyes, like the teeth prosthetics that they had, the appliances that they had for like the makeup and everything. It looks really fucking good. More of a horror comedy film. There are a lot of action elements sprinkled throughout the movie too. They got car chases, explosions, and foot pursuits all around. It's just a really great little film. Definitely an underrated, true 80s horror gem for sure. Scott 86, Vamp. I'll see you guys on the next episode of Monster Mash.
We took them all.